Few names in American history inspire as much fear and fascination as Ted Bundy. He's the killer we can't stop talking about. But why? Ted Bundy was the ultimate paradox, a man whose charm and charisma masked a soul of pure evil. This man wasn't some shadowy figure lurking in dark alleys. No, Bundy was the guy you trust to help you change a tire, the guy you'd invite to your dinner party. But what's scarier, the crimes he confessed to or the ones he didn't? Let's start with the basics. Officially, Ted Bundy confessed to killing 30 women across multiple states in the 1970s. But many believe that number is far from the truth. Investigators have speculated that the actual tally could be closer to 100. Some even wonder if he began his killing spree earlier than we think, possibly in his teenage years. Bundy's method of committing his crimes was as chilling as it was cunning. He would often feign injury, using a sling or crutches to appear vulnerable. This was part of his trap. He preyed on the kindness of his victims. Imagine this. A man struggling to carry books to his car asks for help. You stop to assist, and as you lean into the car to load the items, everything goes dark. Bundy would knock his victims unconscious with a blunt object, often a crowbar, before restraining and abducting them. Once he had them in his car, a tan Volkswagen Beetle that would later become infamous, he removed the passenger seat to make it easier to conceal his victims. He'd take them to remote locations, often woods or deserted areas, where the real horror would begin. Bundy's acts of violence were not just about killing. They were about domination and control. He admitted to revisiting the bodies, sometimes days later, to engage in necrophilic acts. It's these grotesque details that make him one of the most reviled figures in criminal history. One of his most infamous crimes took place at Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority house in 1978. In a single night, Bundy broke into the house and attacked 4 women, killing 2 of them, Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy. He used a piece of firewood as a weapon, beating them so severely that the crime scene shocked even seasoned investigators. He didn't stop there. He assaulted 2 more women in the same house, leaving them gravely injured before fleeing the scene. The audacity of this attack, in a sorority house filled with people, showcased Bundy's growing recklessness and hunger for violence. Now, let's talk about his trial. Bundy famously acted as his own lawyer, turning the courtroom into his stage. He flirted with reporters, played to the cameras, and even proposed to his girlfriend, Carol Ann Boone, right there in the courtroom. Was it hubris, or was he trying to manipulate the public into seeing him as human? Here's the uncomfortable truth. It worked. Bundy had fans. Women sent him love letters. Some even claimed he couldn't possibly be guilty. It makes you wonder, are we, as a society, partly to blame for glorifying monsters like Bundy? And then there's the death penalty. Bundy was executed in 1989, but even that's controversial. Some argue that executing him silenced the opportunity to learn more about his crimes, about the psychology of someone so disturbed. Could keeping him alive have prevented future tragedies by giving us deeper insights into the mind of a killer? Others argue that Bundy's execution was justice, plain and simple. Here's the thing about Ted Bundy. He forces us to confront the darkest parts of human nature, not just his, but ours. He reminds us that evil doesn't always come with a warning. Sometimes it's wrapped in a smile. So the question isn't just why Ted Bundy did what he did. It's why we're still so obsessed with him. What does that say about us?